Alright, what's up everybody? And today we are going to be going to the Buffalo Bill Grave and Museum. And I'm hoping either on the way there or on the way back, I want to go to, it's too pretty close nearby, is the Buffalo Herd Overlook. So there's a herd of bison, like kind of, I think it's nearby Genesee. And basically the story with them is that they're the descendants of like the last kind of like wild bison in the area. A few of them they got from the Denver Zoo. This is like around 1913 or 14. A few of them they got from around the Denver Zoo, and then the rest they got from Yellowstone. So they're kind of like the last of the descendants of they were the descendants of basically like the last kind of wild bison herd that was roaming around these parts. So I'm gonna see if I could try to get it. It depends on if they're out. Sometimes they are out, sometimes they're not. So I'm gonna try to go before I go to the museum. Then like if I don't see them for a little bit, then I guess I'll go to the museum. Then I'll come back. The main reason why I've been to this place before as a kid, I barely remember it. I was really young when I went. I guess apparently that the gift shop, the cafe or whatever, is going to be closed like for the rest of the year. But some other people are trying to speculate that they might be trying to close the whole museum, that whole area. So I just thought, maybe I should probably go before the end of the year. And since I have this time off, why not go now? So anyway, I'll see you guys there. So good news, looks like they're out, so let's get a little closer and see. Right there, there's a male there. A big one right there. Right in the middle. It's crazy thinking there are millions of them roaming around here at one point. So that was pretty cool. I've never, because sometimes like when I come here, it's like they're not here, so it's like, damn it. But yeah, so luckily they were out today. A lot of people are coming in and watching them, so pretty cool. All right, let's head to the museum. All right, so we are here. It's a great view getting here. And I think we're going to try to find the grave first. Now, it's actually interesting because there is the general consensus is that he's actually buried there, but, also there's a town in Wyoming called Cody, named after him, because that's where he was originally from. And there was, there's this other kind of story that some of his, some people from the town of Cody and some of his friends like actually took the body back over there, and like they got a farmer that looked similar to Buffalo Bill, and then basically like replaced it. I don't know. I mean, I'm more saying that he's probably here because that's more likely the case. But it's always interesting like going back on like rumors like that. Not only about like this, but like there's always kind of rumors like that about any kind of old Western history. Like another one I know of is Brushy Bill Roberts claiming that he was Billy the Kid, and that Billy Kid wasn't killed by Pat Garrett, and that he was actually Brushy Bill's, and like most people don't believe that, but then there's some people that do. And yeah, there's always kind of like rumors about that when it comes to certain people from the West. So anyway, so let's try to find the grave first, and then I'll head into the museum. You really can see a lot of different stuff from here. So way out there, it's Boulder. Right in front of this town here, it's Golden. Oh, this is Golden here. You could even, if you look far enough back, I'll zoom in. You can see the Coors factory there. And over here, you have like Thornton or Nevada. And all the way, you can barely see it. You can see downtown Denver right there. So you can see everything from up here. Guess that answers our initial question. Also talked a little bit about the Buffalo Nickel, which I didn't even know that the Iron Tail on the Buffalo Nickel, I didn't even know he actually performed with him, so. Alright, let's head into the museum here. Got another view. I don't have a quarter, but I could look at that. But yeah, so you could see the whole metro area here. You could kind of see Denver way in the back, but just nuts. Like I said, I remember coming here as a kid, but like I said, maybe you appreciate it more. Alright, let's head inside the museum. Springfield there. Looks like she in Red Dead too. Like the name of that pizza place. I always like pizza. Apache Pizza. I wonder if it's still around. It's probably not. ones in the game. That Winchester is there. This one looks like the repeater carbine in the game. So that was the museum there. Pretty interesting stuff. Some stuff I knew, some stuff I didn't know, but I'll talk a little bit more about that later. They have the same machine from Big here. Not the same, but close to it. Alright, so I got through the museum and everything. Got me a shirt and stuff. Like, a trip wouldn't be here without coming to the cafe, so I'm gonna go to the cafe. Get a burger maybe or something. Alright, I'll see you guys in there. Alright, so that is the Buffalo Bill Museum, and I even went to the restaurant too and the cafe inside. I even purchased some fudge. Everyone was talking about the fudge, so I even did that. So, yeah, what did I think? Well, first of all, I want to say, I think it's a shame and kind of shitty what the city and county of Denver is doing to this family here. So I thought like, oh man, they didn't close the museum, but no. But what's going to happen is allegedly, because it's so dumb, because this is not in Denver, okay? This is like at least 20 miles away from Denver. And, you know, it's in Jefferson County, but somehow Denver still owns it, which Denver City and Parks still runs this place, which I don't understand. So what they're gonna do is they're gonna close down this restaurant. The family who had it originally had it for like over 50 years. And they're like, yeah, we're not gonna renew your lease, you know, tough shit. Because of some like septic concerns or whatever they're saying, and they're gonna close down the gift shop and the restaurant at the end of the year, at the end of 2024. I just think that's really shitty and that's lame to do. I mean, I went in there. It's like I mean, obviously a lot of the souvenirs are kind of touristy stuff and kind of stuff that's not really worth much, but I think it's kind of shitty to do that to like a family-run business like that, and I think it's fucked up. So I had the burger. The burger was pretty good. It took a while to make, but I had a buffalo bacon cheeseburger, which is pretty good. Not the best burger I've had, but not the worst. So, and then I bought some fudge. So I'm gonna try some fudge. Okay, so what did I think about the presentation of Buffalo Bill? And what I mean, I knew some things beforehand, but I didn't know some things going into it. So like knowing some things about him, you know, beforehand. So I will say that he did, I mean, obviously in his younger years, he did some things that were not great, right? Like he scalped, I think the native's name was Yellow Hair. I forgot which band. I believe he was Lakota, but I'm not sure. He might not have been Lakota. He might have been another tribe, but anyway, so he scalped that guy, right? Which isn't good. He did hunt buffalo, but it wasn't to the degree that a lot of people say, you know, like even I knew that before going in here. They even mentioned that in the museum that he didn't do that. It's like, yes, he's single-handedly responsible for killing all the buffalo. It's like, no, the ones who are responsible, because even though he hunted it, he still at least used it, you know. Like there were people people from the army and even just they were the ones who were just riding on trains and just shooting them and just leaving them to rot out in the plains. Like there's that one famous picture where it's like a whole bunch of skulls on there. Like it's a pile of skulls. I'll put the picture in there. Those kind of people were responsible for the reduction in the population of the buffalo, and also society itself, because it just kept expanding. The buffalo had less and less land to go into. They were either getting, like they were going into areas where they weren't normally at. So, and it was they're just gradually being driven off in the favor of modern society. So I think to kind of single-handedly say, oh, well, he was responsible for, the buffalo because he killed so many. I think that's kind of a ridiculous notion, and that's really an oversimplification of it. He did participate in the Indian Wars. He did fight against Native people. He killed some, but he realized what he was doing wasn't right? By this Western show, now was it a completely amazing thing for some of the Native performers? I'm sure it wasn't. Or some of the women, I'm sure it wasn't. I'm sure there were some bad things about it. But you know what? What was the alternative? Going on a reservation where you're getting shitty handouts from the government and giving them food and shit where they're literally trying to poison them? Being forced to work land that's not worth the shit and trying to grow stuff on that land even though your culture may not be a farming culture, you have to just learn how to just do it in this shitty land. So it's like, what alternatives did they have, you know? And I'm not saying that, you know, like, oh, well, you know, parading around acting like that you guys were the aggressors, you know, and constantly losing every single time is a good thing either. But he did give them a fair wage, right? Like, I think that that was ahead of his time, especially for that time. And like I said, even if a native didn't manage to find a job, they weren't going to get paid shit anyway. So I just think it's kind of ridiculous how some people, you know, I mean, I can see why, you know, some people may not like him or think that he's so horrible or whatever, but I just don't understand the notion that everything he did was so bad, right? He's like a lot of people are in history, right? Like there's some good and there's some bad. Even people who are beloved within history, like George Washington, Abe Lincoln, John F. Kennedy, Martin Luther King, a lot of them did great things, but they also did some crappy things too. You know, do you want to run down the list? We can run down the list. Like Martin Luther King was an adulterer. He was a womanizer. But, you know, he still did good. You know, like George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, they had slaves. They killed natives. But, you know, a lot of people still say that they are heroes and stuff. So it's like, I just think that instead of looking at history so black and white, we need to look at it through more of shades of gray, right? Even Native people, right? Like even like, so there's some Native people that I look at as heroes, you know, like Geronimo and Sitting Bull, but they have their positives and negatives too. And people view them differently. And it all just depends on your point of view and how you see things. And I just think that we need to look at historical figures through the lens of that they're humans, right? Like they are either not completely villains or they're not completely, like, you know, put on a pedestal heroes. Now I will say there are some people throughout history that I would consider evil. Like I can't say his name, I'll just say Hitler. Hitler, you know, is one I would consider evil. Stalin I would consider evil. Certain other various people I would consider evil. I just think that we shouldn't look at history so black and white. And who knows, maybe if it wasn't for, I mean, a lot of these Wild Western shows, they were exaggerated. They were, you know, not really like how it was in the West. But guess what it did? It brought intrigue to the West, you know? Because they're in the early, I think because of these Wild Western shows, a lot of countries, especially in Europe, got interested in the Wild West. Like, who knows, we may not have even had spaghetti Westerns if it wasn't for these Wild Western shows that were traveling and going around. And plus, if he was so bad, why were, like, leaders, these are Native leaders that went and fought against Americans, why were people like Sitting Bull and Red Cloud and even Geronimo, why were they all associated with him? If he was just so bad and, you know, and that's what I don't get, but a lot of people don't understand that. They just get told something. Because even when I was brushing up a little bit on my research, I read this Time article. It's like, oh yeah, well, he did regret what he did, but because he was a white male and he had that privilege. And this is on a Time article. I'm like, this is just so unprofessional and someone who's just talking out of their ass and doesn't know history. So I don't know. That's what I think anyway. So let's end this. I'm gonna try some fudge here. I don't know what, I got different kinds. I'm gonna try some fudge. I got every flavor. I'm not gonna eat the whole thing, but this is cashew and something. It's a little hard. That's pretty good. All right, so that's my experience. Sorry, I hate talking with my mouth full. Anyway, sorry for the lip smacking. That's my experience at the Buffalo Bill Museum. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I definitely enjoyed it. Like I said, I came here as a kid, but I really don't remember it. I think my grandpa took me up here. I think I went with my grandma, my grandpa, my mom, and my sister. But I really didn't remember it. But I'm glad I came before the gift shop closed down. Like I said, hopefully it's just a renovation thing, and I just hope that they're not trying to like censor or erase history, because I don't think that we need that. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoy, and I'll see you next time. Thank you.